Bruce's big call. Dinar intel Tuesday night, the 3rd of December 24. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Transcribed by Wiser, now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call tonight. It's Tuesday, December 3rd, and you're listening to the big call. Thanks for tuning in again. Everybody, wherever you're located, all over the globe, as I know, our satellite team is getting the signal out pretty much around the world. And I'm very excited to be here tonight and to share very good information with you. Looking forward to that. Alright, let's get into the intel portion of this call tonight. You know, guys, I didn't want to call on Thanksgiving night last Thursday. And as it is, it's a good thing. We actually did get some information over the weekend. We didn't really miss anything, except we had heard that we would be going any day now, and that is still true. There has been a comment that was put out that I found out about that said that Bruce doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to contracts or redemption centers. Well, let me tell you why I know what I know. We have the leaders that we talked to personally at 5 different redemption centers, so we're getting the straight scoop from redemption center leaders. And it's tightened up because they're under brand new NDAs as of last night and today. But when I tell you that there are over 6,000 redemption centers in the United States, you can take it as fact there are. And that's what the 800 numbers will give you access to through the call centers that work the calls that are the ones we generate with the 800 number. And we'll end up getting transferred directly to that redemption center that corresponds closest to the zip code that we enter when we're calling the call center through the number. We're not going to be using banks. Some of the redemption centers are next to banks, connected to banks. Some are wealth management offices. Some are completely different. But realize this, it has designed this way so that those who use the redemption centers would get the best rates, especially on dinar and quite possibly also on dong and some of the other currencies. So don't say are not happening and that the redemption center's not real. They're very real, and they're happening, and that's what we're going to be using. The other thing is, the contract rate is a real thing, and, no, we don't have to be under a contract to get the contract rate on a dinar. Do you think I'm going to tell you something about this that's not true? Really? Please. There is a contract rate. I know where it is. I'm not supposed to say what it is, so I won't. But I can tell you. It's way better than the front rates and the bank screen rate. It's way higher, and it's because President Trump wants to get the best we can possibly get on the dinar, so that we can go from there and do these projects. So I had to just comment on that and say, look, they are supposed to offer you the contract rate on dinar. If for some reason you don't feel you got that, ask about that. And then you don't have to have projects to get the contract. Right, okay, like let's say all you have is dinar and there's some people that have been a long time that they bought dinar and quit. That's all they did. They didn't buy dong, they didn't buy zim. They didn't buy rupiah, they did not buy the bolivar from Venezuela. That's going to be, of course, Venezuelan bolivar. So what I'm saying is they should be giving you and telling you that you can have the contract rate on dinar. Even if you're a zim holder, don't leave it on the table. Don't leave several million or billion dollars on the table. Go ahead and thank them for it. Take advantage of the contract rate. Now what's really been interesting? I gotta get my calendar in my head right here. Today's the 3rd. We had information that was saying, let's see where did we get going to go with this. Okay. What we've heard is that, like I said, a lot of the redemption centers are no longer able to communicate. They have NDAs, brand new non-disclosure agreements that they've signed effective yesterday that limit who they can even talk to. There are some people that have had their numbers removed from their contact list. They're no longer able to talk to certain people that we talk to. And what's interesting is we still managed to dig out some information, that's meaningful to us. And I'm going to try to concentrate and focus on something that I wanted to definitely bring up to you guys. Okay, let me go this way. What happened in Iraq, and we tend to go back to Iraq because they have been called the linchpin of these exchanges. And so we go back talk about what's happened in Iraq. We know from our Iraqi sources that they had a new rate that came out Sunday a couple of days ago, and that they now have, in the entire country of Iraq. All the new lower denominations, like the 5 dinar notes, like our notes 10 to 20s, 50s and 100s, used to have coin that was 100 dinar. I had one of those. I don't know what I did with, but all these notes that we call lower denominations are out throughout Iraq and being utilized. In other words, they've had to change their prices to reflect the lower denomination values and realize the rate inside Iraq is a very good revalued rate right now. Now it's supposed to go up. All rates are supposed to go up tomorrow, Wednesday, on screens in the centers and in the banks, but for right now in Iraq, and we heard this yesterday from one of our Iraqi sources, that President Trump called President Sadani of Iraq, and congratulated him on the completion of the financial reform in Iraq. And what do we mean by that? We're saying that the lower denominations, but the dinar in lower deeds is out in the banks, at the ATMs, in the airport, in shops and restaurants, all the way throughout the country. Now what else did they do? Financial reforms included the old HCL, the hydrocarbon law, the oil and gas law, because citizens of Iraq are getting a percentage of the profits of oil exploration throughout Iraq. And remember, for a long, long time, Kurdistan was to get X percentage. They wanted a little bit more, and then Baghdad wanted a little bit. And it went back and forth, and they finally settled on the percentage. My understanding is that now they're settling up and paying out citizens on the oil and gas law, the HCL hydrocarbon law, and they're paying in newly revalued dinar. So that's cool. It's also interesting that they couldn't get confirmation on this exactly, but I bet they are paying on pensions and military pay and contractors' back pay that was due now. I believe they're setting up with that now. So this is a really good sign. I think the fact that it's happening now. And new rates are coming up on the screen, and we can come up on the screen tomorrow, Wednesday, on Dinar Dom would be a lot of different currencies. That bodes well for us. We had heard from, I think, 4 or 5 different sources, that tomorrow is definitely in play on the 4th, and it might be notifications Wednesdays. Exchanges Wednesdays, or it could be notifications, Wednesday exchanges, Thursday on Charlie Ward, Thursday. It could very well be. I can't say it's going to be one way or another, but this is what we're hearing, how close we are right now. That's how close we are. I mean, why are all of these people under super serious brand new NDAs yesterday and today? If we're not that close, they would be, except we are that close, and I'm excited, because the potential, the cool thing is that we're looking forward to moving into this new direction. I've lost my train of thought temporarily, but I'm going to try to get it back and see if there's anything else I want to bring up tonight. I know you guys are ready for this to go. We all are, and have been ready for quite a while. This is a time to sort of go through everything. Make sure that you have your proof of, well, you're going to need some kind of ID, like a student ID. Or a driver's license. A passport would be great with a driver's license, and basically have everything that you need to get ready to go into center. And that typically means that you need to have your utility bill or 2 to show us where you've been living, or where you live now. Am I trying to do? I'm trying to get intel. I have a perfectly good kitty cat once on my left. That's okay. That's okay. You can do that. Maybe this will help me focus. But it's the timing of this going now makes complete sense. You know, it's hard to say any of this makes sense in some ways, but we know that globally, this whole global currency reset is happening? Is going on? And don't be surprised if something else happens in our favor prior to the inauguration. Prior to that, it's hard for me to say I get information that I can't put that out, but I feel good about that possibility. Very good about it. This has been a tough one to try to bring everything that I've been thinking about rehearsing in my mind together for tonight's call. But I can tell you that we believe we are extremely close. Some of the people have told us, have given us the days, like I mentioned Wednesday with new rates coming up. And that the dinar has been on the Forex, has been on the ISX, it's being traded, and it's being used as the currency of choice in the Middle East in about 7 or 8 countries. And it's very, very exciting to see that happening. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, I think that's everything I wanted to bring tonight, and those med beds are coming out. As soon as we started, they're available to wait until exchanges start. And then we'll be able to go by. In other words, if you have somebody that you want to get in, if they're a ZIM holder. Especially if they have dire need, they move to the top of the list. And that's going to be very helpful for a lot of people. We never know if this is the last call that we're going to do publicly on the big call. We never know. Today's Tuesday. We may or may not have a call Thursday, depending on what happens tomorrow and Thursday. We could, but it might be a celebration call. We might have numbers, and we've been asked to put the numbers out if we get them live on call, and I'll be prepared to do that if we get them and have it all. So just a heads up on that. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight. We also plan to put the toll-free number on the landing page of bigcalluniverse.com when we get them. So you have that way we're laying out, and I'm sure the number will be out on the blogs either way. Alright, so you guys have a great night and a great day tomorrow. Let's see something box for us tomorrow. It may be Thursday, but we'll see one day, and we'll be ready either way. Alright, thanks everybody. Let's pray the call out. Okay, guys, have a great night. We'll talk to you when we talk to you. Could we by email? Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com